Have you ever noticed how the smartest people in the room often speak the least? They're not silent because they have nothing to say. They're silent because they understand the value of what they don't say. Their words are intentional. Their silence is calculated. And their privacy is a fortress. Think about it. We live in a world where oversharing has become the norm. People post their wins, their losses, their opinions, their dreams, sometimes even their most intimate thoughts, online for strangers to see. Social media has turned lives into open books, and everyone's flipping through the pages, looking for something to celebrate, criticize, or copy. But the truly wise, they move differently. They don't tell the world everything they're thinking. They don't announce every move they're making. And they don't expose their vulnerabilities to people who haven't earned that level of access. They've learned a powerful truth. Silence is not emptiness. It's protection. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever shared your dreams with someone and then felt the excitement drain from your soul when they laughed or looked at you like you were crazy? Have you ever opened up to someone about your struggles only to feel judged? Or worse, like your pain was turned into gossip? Have you ever felt exposed after telling someone too much, wishing you could take those words back? If you've ever felt that sting, that heaviness, that regret, you're not alone, and you're not wrong for feeling it. Because every time you speak, you're giving something of yourself away, and not everyone deserves to hold those pieces of you. Smart people understand this. They don't stay quiet because they're scared. They stay quiet because they're strong. Because they know that when you protect your thoughts, your plans, and your emotions, you protect your peace. You protect your power. They've learned that in this loud world, silence is a form of strength. Privacy is a form of control. And mystery is a form of influence. It's not about being secretive. It's about being selective. It's not about hiding. It's about guarding what matters most. So if you truly want to level up, not just in what you have, but in who you are, you have to know when to speak and when to stay silent. Because not everyone who listens is loyal. Not everyone who claps is clapping for you. And not everyone who smiles is safe. Your growth depends on what you protect. Your peace depends on what you choose not to share. And your power, it depends on your silence. Number one, their next move. Smart people never announce their next move. Why? Because they understand a brutal truth. Not everyone who hears your plans is rooting for you. In fact, some are just waiting for you to fail. Not everyone clapping is your fan. Some are just close enough to watch you stumble. Think about it. How many times have you shared something exciting? A new business idea, a fitness journey, a relationship, a dream you were finally ready to chase. And then, something shifted. The energy changed. The excitement faded. Suddenly, people had opinions, doubts, passive-aggressive comments, or subtle competition. It felt like the wind was taken out of your sails. That's not a coincidence. That's the consequence of giving people access they haven't earned. Smart people move in silence, not because they're secretive, but because they're strategic. They understand this. The loudest person in the room isn't always the strongest. The ones making quiet, consistent moves are often the ones building empires behind closed doors. See? Every time you speak your plan out loud, you invite noise, opinions, distractions, expectations, and worst of all, doubt. Not just from others, but from yourself. Because when the world is watching, pressure builds, and pressure without progress breeds anxiety. By keeping your next move private, you protect your peace. You preserve your power. You're no longer living for validation or applause. You're living for results. The wisest warriors don't shout before the battle. They sharpen their sword in silence, then they strike. Decisively, effectively. Ask yourself this: who really needs to know what I'm planning? And who am I telling just to feel seen? Because sometimes silence is your greatest strategy. And in a world that can't stop talking, the one who masters quiet wins. Number 2, their income and finances. Here's the second thing smart people never share: their money situation. Why? Because money doesn't just reflect numbers, it reflects your life. It reveals your priorities, your values, your habits, your fears, your dreams. It tells a story, and once that story is out in the open, people start writing chapters in it that don't belong to them. The moment people find out how much you make or what you have saved, the energy shifts. Some will start envying you quietly. Others will expect handouts or favors. A few will judge your spending choices or talk behind your back. And the most dangerous ones? They'll start planning how to benefit from your wallet instead of your worth. Smart people understand this. They've seen how fast admiration can turn into resentment when money enters the picture. So whether they're making 6 figures or $6 an hour, they keep it quiet. Because money attracts attention, and not all attention is good. Discretion equals protection. That doesn't mean you can't get advice from a trusted financial mentor or open up to someone you genuinely trust in a time of need. But broadcasting your income, your investments, your side hustles, your bonuses, it rarely helps. In fact, it usually creates unnecessary pressure. And here's the thing: real wealth doesn't perform. It doesn't show off. It doesn't need to wear designer logos or post bank statements to prove anything. Real wealth whispers. It shows up in your freedom, your peace, your ability to make choices, not in your flex. Smart people aren't ashamed of their finances. They just don't see the point in making them public. Because when you know your value, you stop needing external approval. You stop proving. You just keep building. Ask yourself, what am I really trying to prove when I talk about money? And who does it actually help? Because when you stay silent about your money, you stay in control of your life. Number 3, their deepest weaknesses. The third and final thing smart people never share is this: their deepest emotional weaknesses. Let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with vulnerability. In fact, when shared with the right people, it can be a bridge to healing, growth, and connection. But here's the harsh truth: not everyone deserves access to the most fragile parts of you. Not everyone is safe, and not everyone listening has your best interest at heart. Smart people know the difference between being genuine and being exposed. They're not hiding behind a mask, pretending to be unbreakable. But they also don't hand over their fears, their traumas, or their emotional scars to just anyone. Why? Because they've learned that some people don't listen to help. They listen to gather ammunition. They listen so they can gossip behind your back. They listen so they can feel superior. They listen so they can use your pain against you when it suits them. And that's why the truly wise guard their emotional world like a treasure chest. They might cry, but behind closed doors. They might be hurting, but they choose wisely where and with whom they unpack that pain. Maybe it's with a therapist. Maybe it's with a mentor, a spiritual guide, or one deeply trusted friend. But they don't turn their weakness into public content for people who haven't earned their trust. Here's what they understand. You don't need to post your breakdown to prove you're real. You don't need to bleed publicly to show you're human. Some healing is sacred. Some growth happens in silence. And strength? Real strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's private. It's in the decision to keep going even when no one sees your struggle. So if you're hurting, protect your heart. Not by pretending everything's okay, but by choosing wisely who gets to see you when you're not. Ask yourself, who do I truly trust with my story? Am I sharing to heal or just to be heard? Because not every ear deserves your truth. When you start protecting your plans, your finances, and your inner world, something incredible happens. You gain clarity, you gain power, and most importantly, you gain peace. Because the more you protect what matters, the more your life becomes a reflection of purpose, not performance. Now ask yourself, what are you sharing with the world that should be sacred? Are you protecting your future, your finances, your emotional strength? Or are you giving away pieces of your power just to feel seen? Remember this, privacy is peace, silence is strength. And not everything deserves an audience. If today's message hit you, let me know in the comments. Which of these 3 things do you struggle to keep private? And which one are you going to start guarding from now on? Take care of your mind, protect your energy, and above all, take care of your family, your loved ones, and the people who truly matter. Because in the end, what you protect protects you. If this video gave you clarity, like it, share it, and subscribe to Mind Aura, where we help you grow silently but powerfully. Stay wise, stay grounded, stay tall,